Welcome to Subramani. One question which I keep getting asked very frequently is, should I pay for my child's education, or should I ask them to borrow the money? Right. So now this is not a simple answer. It's a very complicated answer. So first of all, it is best if somebody else pays for your children's education. Aka scholarship. So if somebody else is willing to fund your children's education, that's the best. I got very lucky that my daughter's education is being paid for by the CA Institute. She gets a scholarship, and the firm where she is doing articles, so they are paying her a stipend. So I will end up paying almost nothing for her education, right from school to her CA final. The total money that I spent will be a small negative number. Of course, not adjusted for present value. I mean, I'm not going to adjust her school fees of KG class to today's value. So it's wrong to add up, 25,000 of class 1 and 28,000 of class 2 and 8,000 of class 3. Right, you can't add up like that, and it's not right, but I'm just adding up like that. I will be with a net negative figure with my daughter because she's done well academically and she's not done any expensive course. Now let us look at what children do, what children can do. So let us say after 12th class your son has not got into IIT, and you think that if he's not got into IIT and he's not got into some of the best engineering colleges in India other than IIT, you think your child should go abroad and study. It's a good thought, but there is absolutely no way how that can be funded by anybody but you. It has to come out of your savings, it has to come out of your investment, then it is completely your call. Right. Now what happens to PG? If your child wants to do MBA from say Canada or Australia, that will cost about 20-25 lakhs. That's not too much. So maybe if your net worth is about 3-4 crores, then 25 lakhs won't really hurt you. You will have the cash flow. Of course, if your net worth is higher, then there is no doubt about that. So you may have the cash flow, you may have some mutual funds, etc., equity shares, which you can sell and fund your child's education. Could be son, could be daughter. Largely, people going to Canada and Australia are going for PR. This MBA degree is just a cloak which is needed, because you cannot go there without any purpose. You will not even get your visa. So that is the reason why they are going. If you're clear about that, so be it. But the question is, if you can't afford the 25 lakhs, can your child borrow from the bank? Answer is no. The child is not borrowing. The child is showing his face or her face, showing all the papers, showing their visa, showing the admission card. Everything is fine. But ultimately, it is your bank guarantee which will help. Like for example, if you bought a house, you are taking a loan from HDFC Limited, then it becomes very easy for HDFC Bank, or they have one more subsidiary which gives loans for education, for them to give, because they know who you are, they know that your property papers are lying with them, they know that you were very regular in paying the EMI, so they will very happily give you money at that rate. So you will be able to get it, but ultimately you are getting the money, not your kid. Now the question is, what percentage of your net wealth should you be spending on your children? This is very difficult to say, because if you have got 2 children, then it has to be equal for both. So one doesn't go, one goes, it helps. But if both want to go, then you have to understand that the total amount that you are giving as guarantees is pretty high. So for some reason, if the kid is not able to pay, or does not wish to pay, or has some panic attacks and comes back because doesn't complete, or completes, spends all the money, and then is too intimidated by that situation, there's a racial blur and has to come back, goes through hell. I've seen such cases, right? So people go there, they study, they even work, and then they have a panic attack, they have a breakdown, and they come back. In such cases, that loan is completely yours. Your child is not earning enough to be able to repay. That is one thing. The second thing which you can do, is also must do, is take a term insurance for the kid, because in the worst case scenario, if death happens, at least the amount of educational loans that you have taken will be covered, because somebody has to pay those loans. You have to pay the loans, or the insurance company has to pay the loans, or your son has to pay the loans, or your daughter has to pay the loans. If your child is dead, then there is no way how they can pay, so the insurance has to pay. If you have not taken any insurance, it means here you spend 40 lakh, 50 lakhs, 2 crores, whatever be the budget, and there is nobody to repay the loan, so it has become a big hole in your retirement kitty. So the most important thing, if you ask me, when you have to think about your children's education is how much retirement kitty you need. Is that already in place? I'm assuming for a minute that you're not working. Of course, if you're working, you will add to the kitty. That's a different thing. Let's forget that. Let's forget that you can add. But let us say calculations are done and you know you require 3 crores for your retirement. That's fantastic. Now suppose you have 22 crores, then there is no question. We are not even talking about, you are not even watching this video perhaps to decide whether to borrow or not to borrow. You may be watching it for something else. So having a huge surplus means gives you comfort, saying okay, let me fund it, or let me sign as a co-applicant, let me give guarantees, because it doesn't matter if my daughter or son can't pay, I will pay, I have the capacity to pay, then it's fine. The problem is with people who don't have enough money and they make it an emotional issue with the mother saying, oh, you are always treating this first child badly, or you are always treating the second child badly. Some emotional issue it becomes. Once it becomes an emotional issue, the family is unable to think clearly, then the money gets spent anyway. So it will get out of your pockets, or it will get out of the bank pockets, and if your kid does not pay, you will have to pay. So remember that it's not a loan on your kids merit, it's a loan on your Form 16 and the fact that you had borrowed money from them in the past to buy a house, and those papers are still lying there. So they're very comfortable lending to you, not your kid, right? Perfectly all right. The kid is going to do well, is going to repay, that's all great, but you are the reason why that loan is being given. This the children have to understand. So children have to understand that if they don't repay the loan, you may be on the street because your house could be repossessed. So children have to be sensitized to those things. So first of all, there is nothing called a children's loan. It is your loan, educational loan, yes, but for your children's educational requirements, it is you who will be giving all the guarantees, etc. So it's your loan, right? So if a kid is good, well deserving and all that, then, and he's got into a good college, or she has got into a good internship or things like that, then great. If that does not happen, you will have to bear the cost. But then if the kid is someone who can't get in, who is going abroad because they can't get in India because of caste system or reservation or whatever, then it's a very difficult call for you to take, because then you're hoping that the kid will go abroad, educate himself or herself, then start working and repay the money. Will you be able to reduce this to an agreement? I'm sure you may not be, but decide how to tackle it, but that's it. So ideally, somebody else should pay for it, so your kid should get a scholarship, or you have to pay for it, there is no choice. Third, a bank loan means a loan to you, the father who had or has a HDFC loan, and therefore HDFC mortgage. So HDFC knows you, so they are happy to lend to you based on your mortgage. It is your mortgage, not the kid's admission letter, which is the most important. You need the admission letter, no doubt, but it is your guarantee which is helping them to disburse this loan, whatever the educational loan amount may be. Thank you.